brothers that were born in Jesus. Carlton, who's deceased.
What was his name?
Carlton was my favorite of all brothers. Carlton. He was born 1939. Carlton. I gotta tell you, I gotta digress a bit. I came back from England to Guyana after being many years in England. Came back with a white wife, in 1969. Got a job with the airline. I left as a school teacher. I had a little bit of brains, and so we went to good school and everything, but we have the money out there. Came back with a French wife and 2 children. And when I arrived in 69 in Guyana, my French wife was 5 months pregnant.
Oh, God. Okay.
2 children. Carlton was, I'm saying all this because Carlton's, I was introduced as a new manager, marketing manager.
But you went from England to Guyana.
From Guyana to England, I lived in England many years.
Yes.
And out of that I got a degree, and then I moved to France and I lived a little bit. Well, now I'm coming home. I left as a bachelor, a freewheeling bachelor, returned with a wife and a degree, 2.5 children. Right. And this is my brother now, my brother Carlton. I'm going to find out. He is in charge of the loaders at the airport. Oh, he never went to college, but I just loved him. And he was also the union. He was the shop steward for the. And everybody tells me, boy, I want to tell you something. We are all looking out to see how you want to get it, because you are supposed. When in Guyana, if you got a big job, you're a big one.
Yeah.
Boy, you come back here and you're a big one. But your brother's going to be a thorn in your damn flesh. I said, what? My brother? What? You know, Carlton. He said, you know what jobs Carlton does? Carlton working at the same airline that you're going to be manager of.
Oh, dear.
And Carlton is the shop steward in charge. He's always on strike.
Yes.
A thorn in your side.
A thorn on my bloody side. Oh, was a lot of fun. He called 3 strikes on the airline, man. Called him, he would come home to talk to me, you know, when he's always broke. He was a heavy drinker. He would always come home. And my French wife, Denise, loved him. But he was a king bullshitter, Janet.
Oh, I can't imagine that.
I wouldn't know where that came from.
Janet, I tell you. And he would not leave without asking my wife for, he always wanted a raise. Is that the same thing here? A raise means a few dollars.
Yeah.
I need a raise. A few dollars. And that is going to be Sunday night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Monday morning, I got whispered he's calling the crew out on strike for increasing, however. But that is not to tell you. This is.
Yeah. There's somebody that has hit my phone twice with a message, and I've got to go.
Okay.
I've got to go listen to this.
Well, then you should go listen and let him continue telling you the story.
Yes. Continue. I'll be right back.
Carlton. So, a short man like me, looked just like me. He died in New York. I cried so much. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
However, he, what was I saying? Yes. He was a nice man. And he's got some nice children, and they live in New York. But for the years that I was studying, I spent 10 years in Guyana when I went back.
Yeah.
I went back in 1969 with a family after living the years, living in Europe.
Yeah.
And went back because I know I couldn't be a manager because I came back with an appropriate degree. I made quite a name for myself in London. Then I could speak French. I went over, I lived in France a little bit. And I came back and I advanced myself, and Carlton didn't do anything. He stayed in Guyana and did the best he can. And so I was, everything is in the newspaper. It's the same thing when it drift me into masonry now, because you're socially in another level now.
Yeah.
My father's retired and went back, and he set up the home. When I see him left Guyana in 56 and returned in 69.
Oh wow, yeah.
And my father was quite aged then, but still, full of jokes, looking at hearing his chicken. He was no longer the postmaster.
Yeah.
Who rose through the ranks,
Yeah.
And my father left school at 12, apprentice in the post office, sweeping the yard and things, taking out telegrams. We call him telegram boy, taking telegrams and telegrams by Morse code in those days, okay.
Yeah.
And then he educated himself, even the writing, you should see his style, he educated himself in the post office.
Yeah, okay.
And he would talk like a postmaster.
Yeah.
Even when he's full of liquor. You would never say increase, you would say augment. Okay. And so I arrived, I left as, I don't know, he was a postal clerk by then. And I was independent and so on. And then I come back, he's retired. But I know what I was never before. I had, by my degree, and I was now coming back at the manager level.
Yeah.
Okay. Came back with my wife and my 2 2/3 children.
Yeah.
I got the government when you were hired abroad. I went to the embassy abroad, the Guyana embassy in London. Got my job there. I was interviewed and everything.
Yeah.
And when they recruit you abroad, they bring you back, they pay your fares, the car, the furniture, and everything.
Yeah.
So I came back and there was a big truck with my furniture from London and everything. The car arrived, so I came in a different social level.
Yeah.
And that is when I knew I was in a different social class.
Yeah.
And I was recruited to be a Mason, recruited.
Oh, is that right?
Let me tell you this. It's not blatant. Every lodge wants to know they have creme de la creme.
Right.
And you might not believe it, but I had hair in my head, and it was not this color. And I was pretty good looking, pretty articulate.
Still are.
And we got drinking, and then I like the same criteria. I've always believed that Masonry is an elite organization.
You say what?
Elite organization.
Oh, an elite organization.
Yes. And it's not judged by riches, You had to demonstrate.
Yeah.
You had to demonstrate. Well, you don't have to agree with me. I'm telling you who I am.
I'm thinking about what I'm doing is thinking about the people I know, and agreed with you. I think to an extent.
It used to be.
Yes.
And what happened at Esoterica, what happens right now in Esoterica, is my understanding of Masonry. It's not easy to get in. It's not easy. If a new young man has come back out and knows from a good family, Joseph Lambert is in the papers, he just arrived and so on, and a new addition to the airline and so on.
Yeah.
Then people find a way to invite you for a drink.
Okay.
And you get entertained, and then suddenly a friend who knows you Boy, I'm recommending that if you know Jack Small, yes. You know Dan Gray, yes. You know Greg Estelle. Oh, you mean the three prosecutor Greg Estelle? Yes. Those fellas all are Masons, you know. They got a subtle way to. And boy, I think about it. And I recommend that you speak to me a little later. Because if you're a fine man, you know already, they know who your social background is, your father is, you got a good job, and they want to make sure that this lodge, there are 5 lodges, and they want to make sure they land you. And that's where the recruiting comes from, right? And so pretty much in 1972, I became a Mason.
Yeah.
That was in England.
No, in Guyana.
In Guyana.
Yes.
Oh, right. In '69, you came back to from England to Guyana.
In '69.
And how did you hit on masonry?
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I was saying.
Some people mentioned it.
People mentioned it to me because people you know. I knew O.P. Walters. The people are trying to build their lodges up.
Yeah, well, sure.
And they're trying to get the creme de la creme. And I just came back in the papers with the new manager.
Yeah.
A head full of good hair, upright, straight, handsome, well-spoken, morals.
And 2 2/3 children.
And two and 2/3 children.
Yes. So they thought I should. So I was approached. And subtly, but you were approached and people who know you. Because if they knew that sooner or later, I'll think about, because the most successful people, when you think of Judge so-and-so,
Right.
It was an elitist organization. And I wanted to be there.
Sure.
And so O.P. Walters snagged me before somebody else snagged me. But he did it subtly.
Yeah.
And I was recruited, but I didn't want to I got to be careful of using the word recruited. I wasn't recruited.
You're not supposed to recruit.
No.
You were asked. So
encouraged.
You were encouraged. Yeah.
Set it up, right.
You were encouraged to ask.
There you go. I like that. I want that to be quoted. I was encouraged to ask. Okay. I like that very much. Okay. And in 72. And Janet, I am more adept there's no such thing as Scottish rite and all of that in Guyana to this day. It's only the commanderies are the I didn't think I was saying that my ritual to you, I don't have it here. Jan. Oh my God.
So there was York Rite, but no Scottish Rite there.
There's no Scottish Rite. When was that? 1992. Yes, I wrote to them. I pay my dues to Guyana.
Oh, is this your ritual?
Oh no, this is my this is not a ritual. That was advance and.
Got it.
That is not Blue Lodge at all.
Oh, this is not Blue Lodge.
Nope.
This is York Rite? No.
It is York Rite.
Oh, it's York Rite.
Yep. Excellent, most excellent Z. Zerubbabel.
Really? I'm playing Darius in a degree.
Really?
In Scottish Rite. Last night that was my third choice.
Really?
Is we're doing the 16th degree, and I'm playing Darius, and I'm talking to Zerubbabel.
You tell this room now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm saying, how are you named? He said, Zerubbabel. And I said, this is the king of Judah.
Judah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're a great man. But
We're good for this week. We're on the way home. Take care.
That is very nice. Very nice. Yeah. I can't relate to what you have gone through because in my family it was so different. My grandfather was a Mason and a Yorkite in Indiana, and I believe that my grandmother's male members of the family were some or a lot of them were Masons. And in fact, I was telling somebody the other day, I think the only reason they allowed my grandmother to marry my grandfather was because he was a Mason. He certainly didn't have money. He worked in the post office. He was the beginning of the FBI before the FBI was formed. He was a postman, but he carried warrants.
That what?
Carried warrants for...
Oh, warrants. Yes.
And when he retired from the post office and moved west, he had 3 people he had not been able to catch. He carried those warrants for the rest of his life, and one of them he did catch in San Francisco.
Oh my goodness.
Never stopped looking.
Never
Never stopped thinking about it. Yeah.
He was a good researcher and digger and he dug until he found what he was looking for.
But my dad was FMLA, and so when he came west, he continued with FMLA and got a state certificate when he got out of FMLA. And then joined Masons right away. It's been in such, it's in the family.
Oh man.
So I don't know. There was no approach to them because it was just part of the family.
Well, you are more damn Masonic than the man that you marry, man.
It looks that way, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody asked me, I was wearing my Hiram Award.
Yeah.
And somebody says, what is that? And I said, it's a Hiram Award. It's really my wife's. I said, my wife lets me wear it sometimes. I'll get in trouble for that one day.
You will.
No, there's a lot of Masons whose wives are like that, my dear. I understand.
Yeah, but here, just before you continue, there's so many things. I was just told there's no Scottish Rite. There's a York Rite in Ghana. I didn't know about Scottish Rite until I got here. Okay.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I didn't know about it. No.
Yeah.
And the British Constitution. And the way we have ladies' nights, and you have, but the way they Candace started, the person asked me about Job's daughters. Candace was deeply involved, her parents were deeply involved in masonry.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
Oh, Candace's parents.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Candace's father was a third degree Mason, Scottish Rite. And I love when she comes downstairs in the morning and sort of said, Brother so-and-so, who comes there? I said, give me your shake. And let me show you what she does for a shake. I said, do you know the shake? She said, I do. I know what is this? What is the sign? I said, give it to me. And let you do this. I crack up.
I was talking to a young lady the other day whose husband had passed away.
Yeah.
And she was saying that sometimes she would always go with him to lodge, and sometimes they wouldn't have a Tyler. So she said, they made me Tyler. She says, I know all the knocks.
But that every time, like if the next time you come there, you come that the day, I've met her there. I'm going to ask her to give you the shake.
Okay.
And you're going to feel it. It cracks me out.
Well, I'll do it back to her.
She enough to say.
Okay.
However,
Okay, I wanted to go back just a little bit and talk about your schooling, but your high school. You went to school in Guyana,
yes.
and you must have gone. You must have had a good high school as well.
Of what?
A good high school. You must have.
Oh, an excellent guy, yeah. Well, from public school, schools was compulsory. There was a British system, you know. There's no way you had to have at least 12 years. There's no. I mean, they used to. There's so many stories when I said that the British colonization. We learned very early, Janet, social stratification, not racial, not race.
No, the social. Yeah.
Social,
Yeah.
so that we could look. There was no place where you did not see black people. Here's just one. If they were judges or that belonged to that organization, you were not excluded because the British were more subtle. There was nothing in Ghana that said all mayors coming up, but blacks are excluded. It was so it mollified any acrimony because you know that is the ambassador's club. I'm giving you a name of a certain club in Georgetown.
Right.
And you know my father couldn't go there. But there was Chief Justice, you could see tall dark man. Chief Justice Jackson was there. Belongs there. You never felt black was excluded, you felt only a certain type of.
Really? Okay, so it's more subtle.
Right. And the French, and I extended further. Go to Martinique and Guadeloupe, the French were better than the English. Because the British, you could never, there's a difference between being British and being English. English presupposed that you were white.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Well, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
And certain things you didn't have in Guyana small shop owners as white people. You had the Yiddish as a colony, the high court judges were white.
Okay.
But the other judges were black and Indian and whatever. The big import and export houses were owned by the English. But there were enough people, you never needed a lot of people to control you, you know.
Yeah.
In the right spots that day. But the Queen could not exist in Buckingham Palace if there's not a whole cadre of underlings that supported it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And there's
And more royal than the damn Queen.
yeah, and they seem to be and they're very important to the family. That loyalty and what have you is very important
Exactly.
to the family.
Right.
Yeah.
The gatekeeper is the man. Oh, you're not getting in there.
That came to light just awesomely when they were talking about Prince Philip retiring. And they called it, before they put it in the papers, they called in all the family, all of the, I call them family, all of the staff that worked for them. Called them in first to let them know. They were all told there's no surprises, what have you, and that he is retiring. Well, it scared the media because they saw this and they thought Prince Philip must be sick and dying or something because they called in all the family. And then it turned out it was just an announcement that at the end of the year I am retiring. I'm 95 years old. I can retire and kick up my heels. I can kick up my heels.
Yes. And and the system, and I thank God, and I don't, you see the St. Thomas Jackson I told you about? No, Wally Lindblad. Not Thomas Jackson, Wally Lindblad. I showed you in the picture here. He invited me to Washington 4 in Vancouver.
Yes.
And the master of the lodge refused to shake my hand.
It's so incredibly hard for me to understand that,
But he let you sit.
Because he cannot exclude person.
Yeah.
He couldn't carry his joke so far.
Uh-huh.
This is why I enjoy being used by Jack Armstrong and them.
Uh-huh.
As long as the Grand Master said, because I was ambitious.
Uh-huh.
I stooped to conquer. Don't write that.
That's a nice turn of phrase.
I wanted to become from the time Leon Sayre organized it to have me enter research lab. I knew I was ambitious. And I knew, and Jan, before I jump across, did I ever tell you what Leon did?
No.
Okay, let me tell you, that is crucial. Remember I said earlier that only vote, the crucial vote in all of Masonry is the membership vote.
Right, yeah.
Because it has to be unanimous. One black ball and you're gone, right? Okay, right. Leon, I was already visiting. They got accustomed to seeing me. And whatever you say about me, I with the innovators and all of that, the central point that I'm trying to sell to you is, number one, I was ambitious. I don't want to write that. But I came when the innovators wanted an example.
Sure.
I visited so many lodges so that the membership would be accustomed to seeing a black man sitting.
Right, yeah. That is so neat.
It was all over the place, all over.
So you visited many lodges.
Many lodges.
The first one, you told me a story about the first lodge that you were, and the Grand Master was with you or something.
Glendon Jeffries. No.
Glendon Jeffries?
No way. And this is why Jack Armstrong is so crucial. The Grand Master was 1988, was Glendon Jeffries. When Jack Armstrong. Now they knew I'm not a member of any lodge. I'm a visiting brother.
Right.
They came out and they examined me at Portland Airport in a room and so on. And I remember the names of the people who came out. They were from Milwaukee Lodge here.
Oh, okay.
Came to the airport and got a room and so on. And because the police officer who was in charge of security at the airport got to talking. You're amazing. And then I started telling him, and then he asked me something that was so funny. His name was Bob Timms, Bobtims, Timms. I don't know what lodge, okay. But he was in charge of security at the airport, and I was working at the Portland Airport at the time. He said, "You're amazing." Yeah. And we did drink all. I said, no. And we start talking. That was a conversation.
Yeah.
Then he went and he talked to Al Philbrick. Rudy and those know him very well. He was about 6'6" tall, a tall man. And they came up to the airport with this big book under his arm. This is Bob Timms. Said, I got a black man here who's amazing. You want to check him out? He went across the airport and spoke to the United Airlines right at the Portland Airport.
Yeah.
Who was also a Mason. And they gave him a room in the back.
Oh, okay.
And you see me, my head, I was just by his chest, help me, tall, big man. So you're Joe, yes? And the two of them took me in the room. And I was just waiting for that. Because keep remembering, I say, I had a plan.
Yeah.
Keep remembering, I said, I was ambitious.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And so I did I knew what I got in my mind.
Yeah.
And so, you're sitting back there, do your best, right? Respond. Sign up a master mason. And now you put yourself in order to receive the word, blah, 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 blah. And you do the thing and so on. And
How y'all doing over here? All right. Tell you what, do you want another beer, Joseph?
no, I'm done. No.
Okay. Another glass of Pinot Gris. Okay.
And then after, I'll open this book. He said, what is your lodge? And I showed him.
It was a book of lodges. He wanted to know if they recognized that lodge.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And he just told us, is that Alpha? I said, yes. 1594 of Guyana? Yes. Who is your who is the district grandmaster? I said, Justice Jackson. He just closed it. He was satisfied.
Oh, God.
And he said, Alpha Lodge of Guyana is in amity. That's the word he used to me. In amity with the grand jurisdiction of Oregon. And so now I'm standing, we had a climb up about 11 steps to the platform up there. And I'm there. Oh, no black man standing around the lodge. And I hear mumblings, and I don't know what's going on. Jack Armstrong is talking. I couldn't hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
Jack is talking to the Grandmaster, Glendon Jeffries. And Jack is going to tell me subsequently, after I was in lodge and everything. He said, those three men you saw standing up there, that's Dr. Shun is the master. He said, you're not coming in here. The Grandmaster said, why? Jack told the Grandmaster, Glendon Jeffries was Grandmaster, Brother Lambert is in amity, it was checked out. Jack is telling me this by Al Philbrick of Milwaukee Lodge, and he is found to be, he's in good standing, a visitor from Guyana, from the Grand Lodge of Scotland, in amity with the Grand Lodge of Oregon. Jack is telling Jeffries that. And Jeffries says, going to the master. I said, I wasn't hearing this. They're going on. Jack is going to tell me later on. And then Jeffries said, the Grandmaster, if you don't let him in here, I will be walking out with your charter. Yep. That was the birth, that was the Masonic birth of Joseph Christopher Lambert.
So that was the first lodge you visited.
First lodge.
And Jack Armstrong was with you.
Yes.
And he brought you to the lodge, or was Glenn Jeffries?
No.
Glendon Jeffries with you?
No. Glenn Jeffries. Jack happened to know that it was an official visit.
It was an official
visit, right.
He timed that.
That is when I'm going to see Greg's father. Because he was the deputy to Glendon Jeffries. First time I saw Greg's father.
God. Was Greg's father there?
Yes, of course he was there, yes. And I took a liking to the man. Because I want to tell you something. I tell this so many times. I was a blessing from the East because I could act well. For the third time I'm saying, I wasn't bombastic. I was not embarrassed. I did not feel, but Jack knew that I was ambitious. And they're just looking for the right person
Well, I think you're the right
to advance, to be a thorn in every door, man. I had more meals at Jack Armstrong's house than you could imagine, man. Devils. Yes, you know. But don't you ever ask me, for every one Mason that looked at me and said, shoot him, there were 10 to support me and said, no, save him. Man. And so, but I like to sit back and hear Jack tell. Jack never told you that story about Paul Cleveland.
No, he didn't get
Jack never told me that
a lot of
story.
stories, but
Yeah,
he didn't get that one.
He told us a lot about the innovators, and he gave me a lot of documentation.
Oh man, let me just say hi to him for one thing. Oh man. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying because you just done this before. I'm having fun with it, and I'm glad you made it. I wasn't gonna talk to him without you. You're the historian, not this man.
The other day in Eastern Star,
Yes.
there was a young lady that nominated me to be her partner, as it were,
Yeah.
To be the associate mate.
to be the associate patron.
Yes.
And she says, I nominate Dan and Janet to be associate patrons.
Yes.
Well, nobody had ever said that before. And,
She said,
and the worthy matron said, what? And she says, they're a pair. They come together.
They come together.
This is Jack that I'm saying.
Are you calling Jack?
Yeah.
What time is it now?
Brother Jack, I am sitting in a bar with Dan Gray and his wife Janet, and they're interviewing me. And your name comes up, of course, and I'm telling them about. Is it Park View Lodge? Was it lodge we came to first when the Grand Master was there? When we first met. Was it Glendon Jeffries? Fairview Lodge.
It is Fairview. That's what we have.
And can you remember who was his deputy? The deputy. Okay, we're not hearing very well. The deputy to Glendon Jeffries. Was it not Greg Estell's father? No. The deputy Grand Master. From Brookings. Oh, okay, hold a second, let me run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I've got it all.
I know you got all what he said, but is that all you wanted, or is there more?
Just about. No. There's more, but the other stuff I can fill in. I've got all I want. I've gotten all I need for the colorful history to make it interesting. Children, married and what children? I'd kind of like to delve into a little bit to get some of that history. He was married to a French lady.
Yeah, and I think that's 3 children. I think that's all. And then there's a boy with Candace.
Okay, so there's one boy with Candace, you think? Yes.
And I'm not, but I think it's 3 in 1.
Okay, the one we stopped at his house was the boy with Candace, I think. when we were going to Kent
God, I
Lodge.
can't remember, but I think so, but I can't remember.
Yeah. That was. We were close to Kent Lodge and stopped over there, and
Yeah, it was just down the block.
Right. Yeah.
I am so tired that I really need to go home to the lodge.
I can do
I
that.
think
And
if I
we
don't,
tried-
I'll be around.
And the fun point, Jack, I was saying how much fun we had. I allowed myself to be taken around by you people. And that was really great days, old boy. All right, well, time was fast, but that was a lot of fun. And can you remember Al Philbrick? Was it Milwaukee Lodge? Am I right? Al Philbrick. Oh, you're not hearing very well. We're cracking up. All right, I got to shout too much. All right, buddy, I just wanted to hear your voice. Let's stop because it's no wondering. I just have wondering. Don't tell me. That is none of your business. None of your business, Jack Armstrong. All right. And I'm not paying for it. All right, brother. He said hi.
How's his wife doing these days? You know?
Yeah, I was there a couple of months ago. She could talk a lot. You know, she's hard, but she doesn't move around.
Yeah.
He said, Joseph, she's not going to get better.
Yeah.
And he said, you accept that.
Yeah. But I just wondered if she was a lot worse or hanging in there or what.
She's hanging in. But it's but you can hear that I recognize I got nothing other than good. I know there were the bums who didn't want me like Thomas Jackson. For everyone that said keep him out, there were 5 that said he wanted him, right. And that's a real feeling. And as I said, and I allowed the warriors. I just let myself be used. All right.
That's all any of us do in life. Actually, the things we try to do are the things that happen badly. It's where we let ourselves be used when things work out right.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to go through a little bit more demographics. You had a French wife.
Hold on. When I was leaving, I was telling Candace. I said, I know exactly. I told her, I know where Daniel wants to go. And we're going to have to meet halfway. Because this is my life. They intertwine, but it's my life in so far as it concerns masonry.
Yes.
And I suspect you would like to write a whole book about all the promises I broke and all the hearts I've broken.
No. I would enjoy hearing some of the things you remember about being in college in England and the organizations you belonged to there and the things you did. You showed me a picture of yourself.
Yes.
As head of an organization.
No, I was. Listen. As a matter of fact, I did not say that because I learned over a long time how to tailor my comments. Because I don't want to go away as bragging. It just happens. You know, I was ambitious because when I was aware, I'm going to come back to that what you just asked me. I'm aware, I wasn't looking for it. When I found out that black people don't belong to the regular jurisdiction in Oregon. You may have, Palaleo is not a black man, Palaleo is a Filipino or Hawaiian, and that's not black people. Okay. And that I got to be careful because I'm not here to. I got to balance. I don't want to scrape up too much of prejudice. At the same time, I don't want it to be forgotten. But I don't want to say I is a martyr.
Yeah.
So
No,
I am very careful about that. But back to because Enfield College is now Middlesex University. It's called Middlesex University. And all I got is a 4-year degree. In business, it wasn't called admin, it's called business studies. And and I did my major in French because I spoke French. I still do. I don't know if you know that I speak French. And I worked with the France for a year. But what is significant about Enfield? It was a college that was expanded. I arrived at the right time. It was going to be converted into a university. It was a college of technology. That was the second year that they added the faculty of arts, not just engineers. And I was in that group. And it was a nice, peaceful college of engineers. And I was in my late 20s when the average students were 19 and 20. So I was a grown man corrupting these. Okay. And it was a repeat, Janet, of Masonry here. I arrived in England with the arts faculty, and new people who were just a couple of years older than me, and left-wing as hell. And that's how I was the first black master in here, the black master of a lodge. I was the first president. I just happened to be black. They did not have a student union. I was the first president of the student union. I showed you that picture.
Yes, that's what it was.
Right. And I got it. But those are things that really, I just got a note. This will be my obituary when I'm gone. But they don't read it, but I'm self-conscious for all of that to be written now. No.
Here's the thing. A lot of history can be found, genealogy type history, if things are included. And we have discovered that sometimes having at least family names, full family names, when someone comes to find, well, was Joseph Lambert here? And how will I know it's the Joseph Lambert I'm looking for?
Okay.
But by the wife, the mother of your, is it 3 children?
The first set with my French wife, the 3 children.
Yeah, you had 3 children. So their names, her name, full names.
Right.
And then you mentioned Candace and your son. Those are the names that will be in history. If anybody wants to come back later and say, I'm trying to trace this family, what do you know about their history? And that gives them where they need to go to find more information by knowing these things. They don't need to know anything more specific except your wife was from someplace in France, and maybe wherever she was, she was French, the names of your children. You know, if they happen to be Mason, you can add that, but if they're not, you don't need to say anything more than who they are.
What there are two things happening here. Of course, he should be finished by now. I'm so nervous. I want to make sure he
was he done with his orals now?
Well, I'm hoping. Well, recording. Kosa, this is your nosy father. I'm just sitting here knowing if what happened in that committee. What I should call you, whether your father should be calling you Dr. Kosa. I'm not going to call you no damn Dr. Kosa unless you. The committee says okay. And I'm here talking with some couple of friends. And I'm damn proud of you, very proud of you. But I just want to get the word. I need space.
Come on, get to the end of that then.
Yes, Dan, go on.
Anyway, you must have some fond memories of things that you enjoyed doing when you were in college.
Oh, man. You're not getting any of that.
Okay.
You're not getting any of that, man, because I was in my prime then, man. What? I thought I knew everything. People voted.
The fact that he was the first president of the student union, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah. So any awards for classroom studies or researching, those types of things. How many girls were taken out? We don't even know.
That was my heyday, man. I wasn't married then, man. What are they talking about? You want to get into my damn bread basket?
But you were older than most of the students.
Most students, yes.
And Middlefield was a mixed college. Middlesex was a mixed college. There were men and women there.
Yes, but engineers. It became. I was the first rush of a third of the students to start the Faculty of Arts. Sociology, business, English. It expanded. When I went back, my name was on the board there, you know. And when I went back, I couldn't recognize the place. It was huge. When I was there, it was 3,000 students. No, it's like 18,000 students.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I came here trying to pretend, ambitious, but pretend I learned how to act. Then I was in my full bloom of pomposity. I get up on the stage to
It's not ambition. It's social graces and manners. You don't have to call that ambition. You say it's manners and social graces.
That's what he calls class. What Joseph calls
You leave the class off and leave the ambition off. It's that. And because that is what you're talking about. That is
style.
Style.
You know, up the ladder.
It's called style.
And knowing when to eat and when to squeeze.
Yes.
But I
You're not a fighter, you're a negotiator.
I fight if I have to fight, but I will avoid fighting if I have to. Right.
You don't fight with your fists.
No. Right.
Using this.
Right. The only, in all my school days, I only had one fight. I got beaten so badly. I fought with a girl. I was 13.
13? Okay.
I was 13.
Yeah, I understand. That's the age that happened.
I got such a licking. Because when I saw the movies, you know,
Yeah.
and it's a ball. I pick up the ball because I was just being fresh with me little self, you know. Her name, I still remember her name. Jocelyn Calendar. Oh my God, I don't know what become of that woman if she's still alive. Yeah. And I got the ball and said, "What the ball? Lambert, I want the ball, Lambert." And she grabbed me and I pulled it back and pow, and I hit back. And then I want to, and then the boys, on the playground, you know. There's only one way to fight, showing off myself. And then she's flailing her fists all over the place, bang, bang.
Oh, you're fighting a girl.
Yes.
Oh, you're fighting a girl.
That's what I'm saying to you. And I got a licking,
You
man.
got beat up.
Bad.
They don't follow any of the rules. They make up their own.
They make up the rules. She's flailing and I'm trying to. You know what all of that? What? With hands all over in my head, bang, down, kick them. I got a licking.
Good story.
Oh man.
Good story.
Okay, let's move this thing along.
I think we're done.
All right.
But this, I'm going to write something up. Okay. I'm just going to kind of have some thoughts that will give an organization that you can look at, and then we'll get you in front of a camera, because Jeff Crowder wants to practice doing things like this, and you will be good practice because you're different. Okay, that will give him good practice. It'll and you'll end up on YouTube. You'll end up just like I did.
Let's talk a minute about the format. Before you tell me what you got in mind, I will tell you what I had in mind.
Okay. What I had in mind is that we all drive to Gresham, and there's a low building there, and we go on in, and we walk around, kind of get a scope of the place, and then there's a room that's about as big as this out here, and it's got 4 cameras with kids behind the cameras, and back behind is a lady looking at all what the cameras are seeing, and she's controlling everything, and Janet will be sitting in there watching, and you'll sit down in a chair, and Jeff will sit down in the chair, and he'll start asking you questions, and you can take as long as you want answering any question, and just like me, what question he asks then might depend on what you said, or it might move on to the list he's got. You see, I started out with a list. I don't know what happened to the list. It's here, but it's my stock. It's my stock questions that I do when I do an interview.
You know what I did?
You slipped it in, I thought.
It's here. I folded it so I can't find it again. There it is. Yeah, good stock questions that I have. You know, when were you born and raised? And what did your father and mother do? And what siblings did you have? And your placement in the sibling line? And where did you go to high school? And what did you enjoy? What did you enjoy doing in school? Because your teenage school years are your formative years.
Well, you just want to look at it, I got my ass whooped. My ass whooped the first licking I ever got. But from a girl, man. 13. Because she did not fight by the rules.
Yeah.
Don't pick a fight.
I wonder.
Don't pick a fight with a woman because you lose. You lose.
I wonder if she remembers that with the same relish you do.
I don't know.
I've got a question. Was your father a Mason, and if he wasn't,
No.
why did he not go to
No.
Mason? Did he choose not to?
No, my father, I never heard about this there. The English, there were 3 sets of lodges in Guyana. The Order of the Foresters
Okay, I know who they are.
Yeah, foresters.
and the mechanics. The mechanics, they were the, like you would find the engineers and masons,
Right, yeah.
and the builders were mechanics. My father was a mechanic, and the mechanic had a rule because Roy Jackson's a man that I liked a lot, but he died and nobody's ever told me that in the higher degrees of the mechanic lodge, and you could not be both a mechanic and a mason, and Roy Jackson, the man I liked so much on pulpit, had to leave masonry. So my father was a mechanic.
That is a question that's going in there.
There's something.
That's interesting.
This,
That's
this is something I did not know. I know about the foresters.
Yes, but you ever hear about the mechanics?
I never heard of the mechanics.
Well, mechanics? Oh no, I was so hierarchical. The foresters, I joined the foresters and I left. I joined the foresters and the only thing I remember that is I'm no longer a forester. But the one thing I remember is the sign. You eat and you offer. That's the sign of a forester. Right. And yes, pick, eat, offer. And but back to my father. Is that my father was always, he died a mechanic. When he died, they processed his corpse. They took charge of the funeral.
Yeah.
And everybody had a leaf in their mouth, I don't know. Never right. And they had the body around, and I was behind. Because I was here, I was living in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
When he died. As a matter of fact, I was at Cornell University. My daughter, my French wife, Ronnie, that was her graduate. She graduated at Cornell in agronomy. And then I went back to her house where she was living with some other girls. And the phone rang about 1 in the morning. My brother at Cornell is upstate New York. My brother in New York calling me. Joseph, Daddy just died. I remember exactly where I was. That was Brownie's graduation. So I had to fly back from New York, back to Portland, get set up, and then fly back to Guyana. From New York, Portland, back to New York, and back to Guyana. The same night when my daughter graduated at Cornell.
Oh my God.
But however, he was and I outlived him. He died my father died at age 82. I outlived him.
1982?
No, he died at age 82.
Age 82.
Yeah.
And I outlived him. And he hardly went to doctor. Idris, Carlton, who is deceased.
What was his name?
Carlton was my favorite of all brothers. Carlton. He was born 1939. Carlton. I gotta tell you, I gotta digress a bit. I came back from England to Guyana after being many years in England.